Hi, I'm Steve Younis. Welcome to the Speeding Bulletin, your Superman news video recapping the events of the week, November 27th to December 3rd, 2015. Our top news stories this week included: first, we got a sneak peek at a scene from Batman v Superman, then a complete new trailer for Batman v Superman was released, and CBS ordered a full season of Supergirl. Let's check out these stories and more in this week's Speeding Bulletin. In movie news, we started off the week with a video released of the cast members of the TV series Gotham choosing a side in the Batman v Superman argument, which was also to promote the upcoming sneak peek video from Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice that would air during the mid-season finale of their show. The 50-second sneak peek video from Batman v Superman was also released online at the same time it aired on Gotham. Let's watch it again.
Rated PG-13.
The end of the video announced that a new full trailer for the film would debut on Wednesday, December 2nd on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Ben Affleck was on hand to help show the new trailer, which was also released online at the same time. Now, looking at the trailer, I love how it opens up with Henry Cavill as Clark Kent. Henry Cavill looks really good as Clark Kent. It's great to see him have some lines in this movie. And obviously we see Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne getting out of his car at this event, which is obviously held by Lex Luthor, some fundraiser. And we get to see Clark Kent meet Bruce Wayne for the first time. We also get a bit of backstory about how Batman's been acting, and obviously Clark Kent's not impressed with what's been happening. We see that plaza with the statue dedicated to Superman. We see Superman saving the Russian rocket that we've seen previously in another trailer. People on the roof in a flood reaching out for Superman. Again, images we've seen from the previous trailer. And we have this discussion with Clark and Bruce Wayne, obviously distrustful of each city's hero. So a very tense discussion there, interrupted by Lex Luthor, who's obviously, I'm guessing, putting on a bit of an act here for a public perception of what kind of a person he is, and a bit of a goofy kind of portrayal there by Jesse Eisenberg. And then we see further images of Superman being confronting both the Senate and Batman in that sneak peek scene that we saw. Some flashbacks to the Man of Steel scenes that Bruce Wayne was there. And then we get to see the battles between Superman and Batman. Love the imagery. Obviously, quite a bit of firepower and destruction there. Pretty cool imagery. Lois Lane meeting Lex Luthor. Pretty interesting comments there by Lex. Parademon, supposedly. I don't know. Very interesting. I love that comment that Superman makes to Batman. Says, if I wanted to kill you, you would have been dead already. Pretty cool. Obviously, Lex does get Zod's body and apparently creates Doomsday from the DNA of Zod. Doomsday, yeah. Batman's reaction, pretty cool. And then Wonder Woman appears, obviously having saved the day there, saved Batman's backside anyway, with S.H.I.E.L.D. deflecting Doomsday's heat vision. And the comments in there, it's all three of them on screen together at the same time. A lot of fans geeking out over that. So that's the trailer, the new trailer for Batman v Superman. Okay, moving on, Scholastic have released cover images and details for 3 new books that will tie into the release of Batman v Superman. Crossfire, an original companion novel, tells an original story about the characters. After saving Metropolis from an alien invasion, Superman is now famous around the world. Meanwhile, Gotham City's own guardian, Batman, would rather fight crime from the shadows. But when the devious Dr. Aesop escapes from Arkham Asylum, the two very different heroes begin investigating the same case, and the young boy is caught in the crossfire. While the Guide to the Caped Crusader and Guide to the Man of Steel movie flipbooks contain everything fans need to know about the stars of the new film, striking images from the movie are accompanied by cool facts about the two heroes. All three books will be available from February 16th. Pre-order them now from our online store. In TV news, CBS announced this week that they've ordered 7 more episodes of Supergirl, providing a full season of 20 episodes for the TV series. Supergirl currently averages 11.24 million viewers and has improved the year-ago time period by 46% in viewers. The cast of the show released a video thanking their fans.
Hi everyone,
Hey.
We are so excited that we got a full season pickup, 20 episodes for this season, which is so exciting because it gives us lots of room to do really amazing, cool, awesome stuff.
So we just want to say thank you to all of you out there who watch the show. We got this pickup because of you.
Yeah, that's a big thank you from all of us, all the crew and everybody who works on Supergirl, so thank you.
In Monday night's episode of Supergirl, Kara took on the superpowered android known as Red Tornado. In an interview with comicbookresources.com, actor Ido Goldberg spoke about playing the dual role of Red Tornado and his creator T.O. Morrow. As for the process of making his costume, he said, "We had several specialised fittings, everything had to be made for me and had to be made to measure. That was an amazing experience in itself, going through all those moulds of my head." Superman homepage reviewer T.A. Hewitt reviewed this episode of Supergirl, giving it a 5 out of 5 score, saying, "It's doubtful that many would find an episode of Supergirl the catalyst for deep probing thought, but this installment's theme of rage, anger and the manner in which it's dealt with did just that." Jenna Dewan Tatum talked with the ladies on a recent episode of The Talk on CBS, where she spoke about her character Lucy Lane and whether we'll see her become Superwoman on an upcoming episode of Supergirl.
I read all the comics. I am super excited. What they have in mind for this character is really fun. Not what anyone's thinking, but definitely exciting.
CBS has released a promo video for the 7th episode of Season 1 of Supergirl, titled Human for a Day. In this episode, Kara and her friends must rely on their inner strength and courage when an earthquake strikes National City. Also, Alex's mistrust of Hank reaches a breaking point when the earthquake traps them in the DEO with Jem, a powerful alien escapee. Human for a Day is scheduled to air on Monday, December 7th at 8 p.m. CBS also issued an official description and image gallery for the 8th episode of Season 1 of Supergirl. Titled Hostile Takeover, this episode sees Kara go toe-to-toe with Astra when her aunt challenges Kara's beliefs about her mother. Also, Kat is threatened with being removed as the CEO of Catco after a hacker exposes her private and damaging emails. Hostile Takeover will air on Monday, December 14th at 8 p.m. and looks to be the final new episode for 2015. A number of media outlets were invited to attend a series of roundtable interviews with some of the cast of Supergirl this week, with Callista Flockhart talking about her role as Cat Grant, what we can expect from her character, and how it's impacted her real life. As for whether she ad-libs any of her lines, she said, "Sometimes. I think I started saying chop chop, and then the next script it was written." So little things like that. Occasionally I'll add a little line at the very end of the scene so they have the ability to cut it out if they don't like it. Participating in a series of interviews on set at the Burbank studios where Supergirl is filmed, executive producers Andrew Kreisberg and Ali Adler put a stop to the recent rumours about there being a crossover between Supergirl and The Flash this season. Kreisberg said, "Right now there's no legitimate actual plan to bring Cisco on the Supergirl or bring Winn onto Legends. First of all, we don't even know if we could legally." In comic book news, Superman comics we reviewed this week included Superman number 46, which was reviewed by Adam DeChannel, who said, "Not a great issue, mostly because timeline-wise it doesn't fit with how Clark is suddenly driven to investigate," and he rated this a 3 out of 5. Adam also reviewed Superman Wonder Woman number 23, also giving it a 3 out of 5 score, saying, "Lots of Parasite, lots of fun dialogue from him, but not much in the way of story development for Clark or Diana." Superman Lois and Clark number 2 was reviewed by T.A. Hewitt, who said, No character is left without development, and the flow is natural, organic, and thoroughly satisfying, and he rated this issue a 4 out of 5. Jeremiah Ball reviewed Justice League of America number 5, giving it a 3 out of 5 score, saying the story is underdeveloped. Superman comics available this week from December 2nd include Action Comics number 47, Batman vs. Superman trade paperback, Earth 2 World's End Volume 2 trade paperback, Lex Luthor A Celebration of 75 Years hardcover, and World's Finest Volume 6 Secret History trade paperback. Celebrate the holiday season with Superman. Get this newly released 10-inch Kurt Adler Superman Nutcracker for $49. Or how about this fun Superman Ugly Christmas sweater, yours for $34.99. These and other great Superman Christmas gift ideas are available from your one-stop Superman shop, the Superman Homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop. And in other news, the Superman Homepage Super Trivia Quiz has been updated for another month. The 3 questions we're asking you this time around are: what is the complete title of the 1978 Superman Christmas LP album, Light Up the Tree, Mr.? In what year did a Superman balloon first appear in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? And which superhero joins Clark Kent for Christmas in Smallville in the animated Justice League episode titled Comfort and Joy? If you think you know the answers to all 3 questions, come by the site now and submit your entry. That's all the news there was for the week November 27th to December 3rd. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com.
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott!
Hello everyone, and welcome to another fabulous episode of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Thanks for watching. So, last night, it won't be last night when you watch this, but for me right now, it's last night, Jimmy Kimmel premiered the all-new, brand new, what we can only assume is the last full-length trailer for Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Now, a few days before, we had a little clip that aired with the Gotham mid-season finale that showed, a lot of people were really worried about it because it showed Superman having apparently captured Batman, tied up in that strange underground bunker where we saw Superman's soldiers. We see him come down. He looks pissed off. He looks disgusted. Batman looks scared to death, and by all accounts he should be, even though most people would say Batman is never afraid. He experienced the greatest fear in his life when his parents were killed, and he's gotten over that now, and now he doesn't really feel fear or oftentimes other emotions either. But we saw that little clip, and it looked really bad because it really made Superman look like the bad guy, or that maybe there was a clone of Superman, or that there was a Bizarro type situation, or what I figure is that this is a nightmare sequence since Batman is now so obsessed and so afraid of what might happen. You know, the tagline, not the tagline, but the only official description we've received is fearing the actions of a godlike being in Metropolis. Batman comes out of retirement in order to protect the Earth from what is perceived as the possibility of a threat. So he's so afraid of what Superman could become that he has this nightmare that shows Superman having him captured and therefore helpless to do anything to save the world or whatever. So there was a lot of consternation about that because people were saying, well, the general audience, the general public won't know that this is a clone or that this is a nightmare. Nobody knows. We're just assuming. So the general audience can assume the same way. People can go, that's not Superman. Superman doesn't act like that. That must be a nightmare. That must be a dream sequence. That must be And we know that Zack Snyder has a penchant for using these dark nightmare scenarios. He did it for Superman with Zod in the Man of Steel movie, where Superman himself felt complicit in the destruction of the world. There were skulls all around him. He was in a black suit. So it's not like it hasn't been done before. And of course, Superman fans who see this say that can't be Superman, and then other people go, well, clearly it's Superman. But the thing is, it makes people talk about it, it gets people going. So that got us ramped up to see this next trailer, which of course premiered on Jimmy Kimmel this week. And he had Ben Affleck on. It was a little cute thing that they did beforehand where Jimmy kept calling him Batman, and he kept saying, you know, I'm just playing Batman, right? And he's asked him what his real name was. He goes, oh, of course I know your real name. It's Bruce Wayne, of course. Which I thought was very funny. And Affleck looks great. And they made him look older in the movie. As you see on the show, when he's just himself, he doesn't look that old at all. And here's the trailer, and here I am. Before I got to watch the trailer, because I was so busy with delivering papers last night, and then I got back so late that I had to go right out to drive the bus this morning, and I just got back, and I just finally got to watch it. It's like 9:30 in the morning, and I watched it, and what I was thinking at first was I had heard one of the lines of dialogue from Lex on the radio. I thought it sounded stupid. I had seen a picture of what appears to be Doomsday that we see later on in the trailer, and I was worried, I was concerned, and I'm driving around, I'm going, you know what, this is such a great thing that's happening that no one ever expected would ever happen as a Superman fan, as a Batman fan, as a superhero fan, as a Lex Luthor, Lois Lane fan, as a fan of comic books, and as Superman being the greatest joy in my life in terms of entertainment. No one ever expected that this would happen, so my feeling was, especially after seeing that little clip earlier in the week, and then seeing this picture of what looks like Doomsday, I'm starting to get really concerned that, Warner Brothers isn't happy with what Man of Steel did at the box office, so they're bringing Batman in, and now they're planning on killing Superman because they don't feel like they can even do a sequel with him because it just didn't make enough money. So my concern now is this is Doomsday, and Doomsday doesn't have a blast of whatever that was that came out of his eyes and mouth normally, but they could change it up for the movie. But it certainly looks like Doomsday. He's got the spikes. He's gray. Could be something else. I don't know. I don't know what else it would be. That is a fantastic... That's the Trinity! There they are, and you can't even imagine that you would ever see something like that. But that, here we are in December. It's about to be the holidays soon. Everyone's getting excited. And this, as fans, the greatest present. I mean, if that isn't an awesome holiday present, I don't know what else could be. I mean, it's just great. It's like, even though the movie's not out for a few more months yet, we get a little surprise here just in time for the holidays to get us really excited. So I was expecting to be worried and concerned, and I still could be, because they still could say, well, let's kill him off, because then maybe that'll make him more popular. And that's not even necessarily a problem, because I've always wanted to see the Doomsday, Return of Superman type of thing done in live action, but it just seems too early. It seems like he's too new. It seems like you got the two factions, the people who don't even trust him and don't even want him here. It should be, he should be beloved, and people should really miss him when he's gone, so that it's really impactful if he dies. That being said, we don't know that he's going to die. That being said, we don't know for sure that this is Doomsday, even though it looks like Doomsday. Couple of things. Almost every line that Lex says in any of the trailers has me cringing. So the line that I heard on the radio before I got to watch the trailer was the one about the Bat of Gotham versus the last son of Krypton. It's an epic clash of titans, of gladiators, greatest thing the world has ever seen. And it sounds silly because, and I know I've covered this before, but who would ever think that a lunatic mental case dressed as a bat would be the perfect match or a great gladiatorial contest against Superman, who stopped other Kryptonians from destroying the world? And Lex Luthor's supposed to be a super genius. How could he ever think that he could make it? Well, I'm sure he has a plan, but it just sounds silly. A mental case dressed in a bat suit is going to take on Superman. But he also has the greatest line in the trailer, and maybe the greatest line I've ever heard in any trailer ever, and that is, wow, that's a great crypt you got there. Do not pick a fight with this person. I laughed out loud sitting here in my house at the end of the trailer when Wonder Woman comes and blocks the blast from that demon or Doomsday or whatever it is. And Superman says, is she with you? And Batman says, I thought you brought her. It was great. I loved it. I loved it. I clapped in my house. There's no audience here, but I'm clapping anyway because I thought it was fan-frickin' tastic. I also love when they're fighting and Superman says, stay down. If I wanted to, you'd be dead already. Which, I don't know that Superman would ever say that, but the point is that, yes, a battle of Batman versus Superman. If Superman wanted him dead, he'd be dead. In most cases. So, it's just super exciting to see that they're addressing that in the movie. The fact that Superman could blink his eyes and Batman would die. If there's going to be a way, and Lex Luthor is going to be a part of it, where they're actually going to face each other and it's going to be believable for a short time. I mean, even when you see Batman firing at him from the Batplane, Superman covers up, but I don't know why. But then 2 seconds later, he's just floating forward and they're bouncing off him like nothing, which is what it would be. So, we saw a scene in an earlier trailer where it looked like Superman was kneeling in weakness, or some people said it was Bizarro again, or some people said he was being mind-controlled. I always just thought, because I saw some green glowing, I always just thought it was a kryptonite type of a situation, and that he was being weakened by that. And then we had the exploding nuclear facility, which happened in the Dark Knight book. So there could be this whole thing where Lex Luthor is starting these things that make Superman weaker so that he can pit Batman and Superman against each other. And I do love the idea that Lex Luthor seems to be the orchestrator of this whole thing. He wants them to clash. He wants them to face off. He wants them both out of his way. And of course, it appears that he's the creator or the architect behind this doomsday or creature character that we see. So I don't know if this is the doomsday or if the people who are making the movie are just kind of want fans to get the idea that this is a doomsday type of situation. But I mean, everything about the trailer, there's not one thing in the trailer that I don't like. There's a questionable line from Bruce. It works because of what it means and what it indicates. The idea that maybe it's just a Gotham in me. I have this thing against people who run around dressed like clowns. Superman's not dressed like a clown. But then when I watched it a second time, it seemed like maybe he was accusing Clark of being Superman and being now dressed as a clown. Because if he was accusing Superman of dressing like a clown, he runs around dressed like a bat. So I'm not really sure that, as far as hypocritical, he says it's hypocritical for Clark Kent to say there's a vigilante running around when he has a Superman running around in his town that saves cats from trees and gets puff pieces written about him. So I don't know. And I'm not sure that he's talking to Lex when he says, "What have you done?" I'm not sure who he's talking to. That might even be part of the dream sequence. There's just a lot of great stuff going on. I'm assuming most of the explosions, beams, fighting that's happening is the three of them fighting the doomsday-ish creature and not Superman blasting his full heat vision at Batman on the side of a building, because he even says, "If I wanted you dead, you would be." Again, not necessarily a Superman-ish line, but maybe cool to make a point. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'm excited now. March can't get here soon enough. We got Supergirl on TV. We got Batman v Superman with Wonder Woman and Aquaman and possibly Doomsday, and just great stuff going on. Clark Kent in full regalia, the glasses doing the reporter thing. We did see him in some still shots earlier. We knew it was coming, but it's very exciting nonetheless. Get excited, stay excited, and remember, always, always look up in the sky. Psychotic, a 3-syllable word for any thought that's too big for little minds.